No one's coming to save you. That man you're waiting for, the one to guide you, mentor you, show you the way, he doesn't exist. You keep hoping some perfect role model is out there. A hero, a father figure, a man who'll show up, put his hand on your shoulder and say, this is how to live, this is how to win. But here's the truth they don't want to tell you. There is no savior, there is no blueprint, there is no map. You've been waiting for someone to pass you the torch, but no one's carrying it. Every man you thought would lead you, too busy, too broken, or too lost himself. You see it, don't you? A world full of weak men who talk but don't walk, men who preach but don't live, men who sold their potential for comfort and validation. And what about you? Are you going to sit there, another man scrolling for guidance that isn't coming, or are you going to wake up to this? If you didn't have a role model, that's your sign. It's time to become one. Because here's what's at stake. Your legacy, your name, your soul. And if you stay waiting for someone else to show you the way, you'll die waiting. Your kids will look for strength and find none. Your partner will look for leadership and see none. The world will look right through you because you chose to stay invisible. But if you step up, if you take ownership, you won't just change your life, you'll change your bloodline. Stay with me, because near the end of this video, I'll give you a truth that'll hit harder than anything you've heard before. One that separates the men who build from the men who blame. Let's face it, most of us didn't have a real role model. Not a man worth following. Maybe your dad was there, physically, but emotionally absent, lost in his own failures. Or maybe he was never there at all. Maybe the men you thought you could look up to, they turned out to be weak, addicted, cowardly, men who folded under pressure, men who chased comfort instead of greatness. And so what did you learn? You learned to survive, you learned to fake strength, you learned to nod along while feeling lost inside. But you didn't learn how to build, you didn't learn how to lead, you didn't learn how to become the man. And here's the brutal truth, no one cares. The world doesn't care that you didn't have a dad who taught you how to be disciplined. The world doesn't care that no one showed you how to be strong. The world doesn't care that no one modeled wealth, honor, or purpose for you. Because the scoreboard only shows wins and losses, not excuses. And right now, some of you are still waiting for a mentor, waiting for the perfect book, waiting for life to get easier. But here's what you need to see. Waiting is weakness. Blaming the past is weakness. The death of the father figure, it's real, but it's not your excuse, it's your opportunity. If you didn't have a role model, that doesn't mean you're cursed. It means you've got a clean slate, a chance to become the man you wish had raised you, a chance to be the standard your future sons and daughters will measure all men against. And that starts with one decision. Stop looking backwards. Stop waiting for a father and start building yourself from the ground up. But here's where most men go wrong next. Instead of building, they start worshipping false idols. And that's the next trap I'm going to rip apart for you. Here's what happens when men grow up without real role models. They go searching for gods. They start putting other men on pedestals. Athletes, influencers, rappers, billionaires. They look at these guys and think, that's what I need to be. That's success, that's strength. But look closer, scratch the surface. You'll see the truth most can't handle. Most of these so-called idols are selling you a fantasy. They don't care about you. They're playing their own game, building empires off your admiration while you sit there, clapping for them like a spectator. And here's the killer part. When you worship, you don't build. When you admire, you avoid responsibility. It's easy to say, one day I'll be like him. Because as long as you're watching greatness, you don't have to be great. That's the trap. That's how you stay small. Look, I'm not saying you can't respect another man's grind, but when that respect turns into worship, you lose the plot. Because while you're busy watching, clapping, liking and following, that man is out there stacking wins, building wealth, living his mission. And you're still waiting for your turn, still looking for someone to validate that you're on the right path. Here's the cold truth. The men you admire aren't better than you. They just started before you. They took ownership, and you can too. So ask yourself, are you going to keep clapping for another man's empire? Or are you ready to break the cycle and start building your own? Because the next move is the one that separates the talkers from the builders. It's called ownership, and it's your only way out. Let me hit you with this straight. Until you take full ownership of your life, nothing changes. Not your bank account, not your body, not your mind, not your legacy. Ownership means this. Every weakness you hate about yourself, it's yours to fix. Every regret, yours to face. Every bad decision, yours to correct. But here's the part that makes most men squirm. Ownership means no more blaming. You don't get to blame your dad for being absent. You don't get to blame your job for underpaying you. You don't get to blame your partner, your friends, the government, the economy, your genetics. None of it. Because here's the truth. The world doesn't owe you anything, and no one's coming to save you. Imagine your life like a house. Right now, some of you are living in ruins. The walls are cracked, the roof leaks, the foundation's weak, and you're sitting there waiting for someone else to show up with the tools and rebuild it. But no one's coming. The only hands that can fix that house? Yours. Ownership means picking up the hammer. Ownership means getting dirty. Ownership means taking the hits, learning the skills, and rebuilding, brick by brick, the man you were meant to be. And you don't do it all at once. You do it, one disciplined habit at a time, one hard decision at a time, one day at a time. And here's the paradox. The day you stop waiting for someone else to fix your life is the day you finally start living it. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop renting your life from excuses and start owning it like a man who's building his empire? Because when you do, you'll notice something powerful start to happen. Others begin to follow, and that's where real leadership starts. Let me tell you a secret about leadership no one teaches you. People don't follow your words, they follow your example. You can talk all day about discipline. You can preach about success, you can post quotes and pretend you've got it figured out, but in the end, no one cares what you say, they care what you do. And here's the beauty of it. When you lead yourself first, when you start stacking wins, controlling your mind, building your body, mastering your finances, people notice. Quietly at first. Your partner starts to respect you differently. Your kids look at you with pride they can't put into words. Your friends either rise with you or they fall away, exposed by their own mediocrity. Even strangers, they sense it, because real strength can't be faked. The world's starving for men who walk the path. Not talkers, not pretenders, not keyboard warriors, builders, doers, leaders by action. And here's where it gets even deeper. The moment you stop chasing a role model, you become one. And when that happens, you stop looking up at men who seem untouchable. You realise you're in the arena with them. You're no longer a spectator, you're a player. But here's where most men fail. They let their old excuses, their old stories, their inner victim creep back in. And that's what we're going to kill next. Because until you kill that voice, the victim inside you, you'll never stay on the path. And that's what we're tackling in the next round. If this is cutting deep, good. That means you're done playing weak. So stop watching like a spectator. Hit subscribe right now. Not for me, for you. Because this isn't about feeling inspired. It's about building the man you were meant to be. There's a voice inside you that's keeping you weak. You know the one I'm talking about. The voice that whispers, it's not my fault. I didn't have a dad like other men. I wasn't born rich. Life's been harder for me. That voice, that's the victim inside you. And as long as it lives, you'll stay small. See, playing the victim feels good at first. It lets you off the hook. It gives you something to blame for why you're not where you want to be. But here's the brutal truth. Victimhood is a cage, and you're the one holding the key. No one's going to break you out of it. Not your partner, not your friends, not your followers, not me. It's on you. You want to know the difference between men who build empires and men who rot in regret. The builders killed the victim inside. The weak kept feeding it. And I get it. Killing that voice is hard. It means you have to look in the mirror and admit every excuse I've used, it was just fear dressed up as logic. It means you stop feeling sorry for yourself. It means you stop blaming the world. It means you stop waiting for fair and start building strong. Because here's the law. There is no strength in self-pity. There is no prestige in blaming the world. There is no legacy in pointing fingers. The man who builds his life from zero, that's the man the world respects. That's the man his children admire. That's the man who doesn't just survive, he dominates. So ask yourself right now, what excuse do you need to bury today? What part of your story have you been hiding behind instead of rising above? And when you kill that victim, that's when you can finally build the man you've always needed. That's where we're going next. You didn't have a role model? Good. That means you get to design one. That means you have no excuse, no limits, no blueprint to trap you. Ask yourself, what kind of man did I wish I had to guide me? What kind of man did I need to see when I was lost? And now, become him. You wanted a man who provided? Stack your skills, build wealth, control your future. No more searching, no more hoping. The man you needed is the man you have to build. You wanted a man of discipline? Then master yours. You wanted a man of strength? Build it, in your body, in your mind. You wanted a man of wisdom? Learn, read, think, reflect. And here's where it gets even more real. This man isn't built in a week. He's not built in a month. He's built brick by brick, day by day, setback by setback, victory by victory. Most men fail here because they want speed. They want the shortcut. They want the fast track to respect, power, wealth. But there is no fast track. There's only the grind, the work, the mission. And when you commit to that mission, you don't just change your own life, you change your bloodline. You change what your sons and daughters will expect of themselves. And let me warn you now, no one will cheer for you at first. No one will see your early wins. No one will care while you're building. But that's good, because you're not building this man for applause. You're building him for the man inside. You're building him for your name, your legacy, your soul. And here's where most men crack, when no one's watching. That's why in the next round we're talking about the quiet grind that builds legends. Here's a hard truth. Most men will never make it, because they can't handle the quiet. They want their growth to be seen. They want likes. They want applause. They want someone to notice and say, wow, look at him go. But that's not how legends are built. Legends are built in silence. The men you admire, the ones who built real empires, forged real strength, they weren't clapped for while they were grinding. They weren't validated at every step. They were doubted, they were ignored, they were laughed at. But they kept going, because they weren't doing it for applause. They were doing it for the man they were becoming. Let me break it down. quiet grind is where you forge the weapon of your life. Every early morning no one sees. Every late night when you're studying, training, planning. Every rep when no one's watching. Every dollar you save instead of spend. Every small, boring, disciplined decision. That's the forge. That's where real strength is born. And one day, you won't need to announce your success. Your results will be so loud the world can't ignore you. But here's the part that separates the men who build from the men who quit. Can you grind when no one's clapping? Can you stay locked in when no one's watching? Can you build for you, not for them? Because if you can, you won't just become a man worth following, you'll become unstoppable. And here's the part no one tells you. The role model you're building isn't for them at all. You've been thinking this whole time that you're becoming a role model for them, for your kids, for your partner, for your friends, for the world. But here's the real, uncomfortable truth. You're becoming a role model for you, for that man inside who sees everything, that part of you that watches what you do when no one else is watching, the man you can't lie to, the man who knows when you skip the workout, the man who knows when you took the easy way out, the man who'll be there at the end, when the noise is gone, the crowd's gone, and it's just you, your choices, and your soul. That's who you're building for. Because if you can look that man in the eye at the end of this journey and say, I didn't flinch, I didn't fold, I built what I said I would, that's when you've won. Not when they clap, not when they follow, not when they praise, when you know, when you respect the man you became. And here's the final challenge I'll leave you with. Will that man, the one at the end, be proud of you or ashamed? Let's strip it down to the core. You didn't have role models? Good. You don't need them. What you need is ownership. What you need is action. What you need is to stop searching for heroes and start becoming one. Because no one's coming to build your legacy except you. Your excuses won't build it. Your followers won't build it. Your complaints won't build it. Only your discipline. Only your choices. Only your quiet, daily grind. And when you commit to that, you don't just change your life, you change your bloodline. You become the man they'll talk about when you're gone.